Daniel Negreanu kicks things off with Queen-Jack offsuit. He is raised to $2,800, but is up against Tony G with Ace-King offsuit.
Action folds over to Tony G, who makes the call.
Two strong hands going into the flop.
Queen-6-Jack.
King of the world.
Check by Tony G.
Tony G's missed. Daniel's going to fire with top two.
Bets 5,500.
Tony G knows Negreanu would bet this flop even if he had nothing. But he decides not to go for a semi-bluff raise, and instead, he floats, letting Daniel tell his tale while he quietly waits for something on the turn.
Tony has two overcards, even though they're no good. He's really only looking for a 10 to make a gut shot.
There it is!
Tony G tries to keep a poker face as he just hit his straight. He knows Daniel Negreanu is the best of all time at reading people. This is a critical moment to let Daniel continue building the pot. He checks, letting Daniel think two-pair is the best hand here. Tony is in total control right now, patiently waiting for the right time to make his next raise get called.
Daniel bets 14 grand. A raise to 50,000 by Tony G.
A quick raise of 50,000. Tony's the kind of player that could be doing this with a worse two-pair. He could be doing it with a draw. He could be doing it with flat out nothing, but a raise that big, that fast, usually means only one of two things, a monster hand or a monster bluff.
Daniel makes the call.
Tony using his hand to keep his mouth closed because it's probably watering right now.
The river gives Daniel a full house.
These two have been playing against each other at the highest level for 3 decades.
Tony checks.
Negreanu knows Tony has a straight, as you will see in his prediction at the end. He's not worried about being beaten here. He's just doing the math now. What's the number Tony G can't resist calling here?
Bet 80.
Negreanu makes it 80,000 to go. Snap call from Tony.
Negreanu shows him the bad news, hands him the keys of the city.
You had ace king.
Yep. Well done, Daniel. Well done.
Played it good.
Nice dealer.
Sorry, Tony, you played it good.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on 10-9 suited.
Who lost the last one?
Me, that'd be me. Steaming.
Boom.
This hand sits in the suited connector bucket that plays well. Versus a 3-bet, it has equity versus broadways, realizes well in position, and can call profitably against most small blind ranges.
Such a good spot.
Oh, him again, him and his spots again.
Except you have to act first.
Oh, yeah.
Veldhouse re-raises to $7,000 from the small blind. That sizing represents a fairly standard linear small blind 3-bet, strong aces, broadways, and some pocket pairs. When Negreanu calls, his range keeps most suited connectors, suited broadways, medium pairs, and a few slow plays. Importantly, he retains position and stack to pot depth for post-flop maneuvering. Texture advantage is mixed. The small blind has all over pairs and more ace-10 offsuit. The caller has more 4s and 10x suited. Veldhouse continuation bets 11,500 with ace-queen of diamonds.
I love the 6-spot speech. That was the best part of this hand. It's fun. 11. Huh?
That's a good level, huh?
It was good. 6-spot. Boom, raise, da-da-da.
That bet targets folds from unpaired high cards and protects overpairs, while keeping bluffs like 2 overcards with backdoors. Negreanu's call with top pair and excellent runout potential keeps his range uncapped. From Veldhouse's seat, once called, Negreanu's range condenses around 4s, 10s, pocket pairs like jacks through 7s, and sticky backdoors. This is a pivotal card, because trips remain the nuts, and gives Negreanu a valuable backdoor flush draw. Check-check makes sense for both. Veldhouse's ace-queen has little fold equity versus 4s and 10s, and hates getting check-raised. Negreanu's check protects his flop call range, keeps bluffs in, and realizes 2 clean ways to improve, clubs and 9. Negreanu improves to 2-pair, 10s and 9s, while Veldhouse remains with ace-high. From a range view, the river shifts blocker dynamics. Negreanu's line contains more 9x, while Veldhouse remains with ace-high.
I'm all in.
So you're saying I made a good check on the turn? Is that what you're claiming? Such level. I mean, you know more about my game than anyone, so is that enough to make the difference for me? I would have felt better if I just bet the turn, you raised, and then I called. That would have been more fun. Fire on the river. Are you hoping that I'm going to play good here? I'm so confused.
Daniel calls. And for a change, sees some good news at Showdown.
She's in with 6s.
Jennifer Tilly kicks things off with pocket sixes. This is a decent hand to entertain a small raise with and see if luck is on your side.
Back on Arden. She calls the 3-bet as well, so 3-way to the flop. Oh my word, set over set and Griffin's flop top pair?
This is going to be bad for Griffin, but it's going to be real bad for Arden.
With the board that the flop delivers, everyone has something to bet about. But instead of that, Tilly and Cho decide to check. With that in mind, our weak top pair is trying to take control of the board by shooting a small bet of $2,500. Tilly is loving it because other than a set of kings, nothing else on the board beats her, and she would love to see this pot growing, so naturally she calls. Miss Cho, on the other hand, has a completely different plan. She is not waiting for the pot to grow. She is growing it herself. She does that by firing a $9,400 bet. Now Benger has a choice. Entertain this top pair, or realize the truth and just give up.
Why is he so serious? He's like a goober 99% of the time.
The angry man quickly decides to fold and not pursue the king. On the other hand, Tilly is more than happy to oblige Miss Cho by re-raising to $30,000 with her set of sixes.
Oh boy.
Jen re-raises $30,000.
At this point, Miss Cho should know the deep trouble she finds herself in, but still decides to go ahead and call on her set of fives. The turn delivers the 9 of clubs, a card that is completely irrelevant to both of them. If I was in the position of Tilly, I would be betting pot here. What would you? Let me know in the comments below. I guess Tilly is not so happy about my jamming suggestion, so she decides to check here and wait for something magical on river. Same thing for Miss Cho. In her case, though, that is in her favor.
And Arden spikes a 1-outer. She's got quads. Meanwhile, Jenna's rivered a full house.
Buckle up, because this hand just went from pretty sick to absolutely bonkers.
People say patience is a virtue, but in Tilly's case, her patience came to bite her from behind. The river delivers the only card that can save Miss Cho, and that is the 5 of clubs. Now the only question is, will Tilly get baited by her now full house hand? Or will she read her for the quads Miss Cho has? And as we all thought she should do, Miss Cho goes.
There it is.
This is not good.
No, it sure isn't.
If Jen calls, this will be the biggest pot of the game.
Arden, you have quads because I can't beat quads.
Does she know?
I don't think you have kings full. And I don't think you have 9s full. You might have 5s full.
That's a call.
Daniel Negreanu is holding ace-10 suited. Pre-flop is all ego and leverage. Tony G opens small Houston flats, and Negreanu snaps on the squeeze to 7K.
Well, if at first you don't succeed,
You must.
you make it 7,000.
Perfect against 2 wide ranges. Tony G knows Houston's call is weak money and fires back to 24K with pocket 8s. Classic isolation and dare 4-bet. Negreanu takes the button, keeps Tony's bluffs in, and controls the pot. That flat says, I'll outplay you post-flop. Keep the range wide. Flop comes rainbow. Negreanu's dream in a 4-bet pot. Top pair, ace kicker, clean texture.
I'm all in.
Tony shoves.
Who cares? I guess you got, what do you have, kings now?
I'm committed again.
No, I know you are. Okay, you can show me one if you want.
Even if you gave me $1 million, I wouldn't show you.
$1 million? Oh boy, Tony G. I guess I should. You're a nice guy. You do good things with your money, right?
I do.
You do? All right, I'll give you some more, I guess. All right.
Daniel calls.
You have kings or something?
No, one time. No.
Jack of clubs on the turn.
Oh my God, did that make him more outs? Yeah. I just realized. Oh God, I was like, oh Jack, that's a good card.
The river. The king of hearts.
It's a scary one.
Keating is looking down at pocket 10s. Pre-flop begins with Brandon making a loose open to 4,000 from early position holding 10-8. It is a splashy play, but with stacks this deep, implied odds often trump range charts. The action folds to Keating in the hijack with pocket 10s. This is a pivotal moment. A standard textbook approach would be to 3-bet to isolate the weak opener and thin the field. However, Keating is playing a different game. He elects to just flat call. a deceptive move that disguises the strength of his hand and effectively invites the rest of the table to come along. The flop lands, a deceptively dangerous board that acts as a massive cooler funnel. It is the absolute dream scenario for Keating, who flops a full house, tens full of jacks. However, for Steve and Martin, it is a mirage.
Alan signature, I love it. Everybody plays their signature, so nobody plays Giaro. I can feel that now.
They both flop trips, but with terrible kickers. The action starts with a microscopic lead of 1,000 from Steve. This tiny bet effectively freezes the field, inducing calls from Martin and Brandon. When it gets to Keating, he raises to 25,000. He knows he has the board crushed and wants to start building a pot immediately.
That was interesting tank fold. I was really enjoying that. I was really enjoying that tank fold.
Wait a second, you're about to
I
get
didn't
another
know
one.
some plays tank fold sometimes.
How much is it? Sometimes.
I was thinking you play
I like the
snap folds or tank calls.
I like the tank
or tank
my time.
raises.
I tank fold all the time.
But tank folds, I really don't know what if it is your shtick.
What? Steve calls?
Steve, you bet 1,000 and now you bet 25?
No, I didn't bet 25. Sorry, I called 25.
I should probably go all in now, but I will think about it.
Good luck. Martin, do you got my
Alan
purple
not happy
pills?
about that. Steve not happy about that. I just love this. I just love this.
Steve, refusing to believe his trips are no good, makes the call. Then the madness truly begins. Martin, sitting on bottom kicker trips, decides this is his moment and puts in a 3-bet to 69,000. It is a massive overplay in a multi-way pot, but he is convinced his jack is best. Keating smooth calls, setting the trap. This flat call is lethal. It convinces Steve that Keating might just have a draw or a 10.
If you call now, Steve, you are my new hero, I'm telling you. Alan was my hero, he will always be, but if you call...
Steve's all in.
Just kidding.
Is it all in or not? How much is it about?
More than you.
It's almost 800K.
He shoves all in for a staggering 784,000. He effectively turns his mediocre trips into a bluff catcher against the nuts.
I put 69, yeah? He called and he goes a little bit over top, yeah?
Steve and Martin played their hands as if they were holding the absolute nuts, failing to realize that in a 5-way limped pot, trip jacks with a 9 kicker is barely a bluff catcher. Keating simply had to wait for the aggressive players to donate their money to him and his boat, turning a standard set mining spot into one of the largest pots in televised poker history.
I love it. Alan, you definitely not play. This is not Giaro approved, this tank. I'm telling you. Huh?
I think I'd be both
Beat? Okay, just put the money then.
All right, I call.
Can we play showdowns, guys? Just for spectators?
Twice.
Can we play showdowns?
2.1 million in the middle.
We show
Alan
the cards.
Keating, a
No,
2-1 favorite
You don't want to do that?
against the
last place.
field.
But I would like to enjoy myself.
No, you're good. You're good.
What can you guys all have? King, queen of spades, somebody, right?
No.
So can we show the hands?
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm not showing my hand.
Oh my God.
That's a good call. But I probably win.
Gonna run it twice.
1 or 2 boards. What? Two, twice.
I have little, casino, royal.
Lovely. Come on, ace.
Ace or 9 for
That helped
Steve.
you guys.
Ace
Why?
or 6
Ace.
for Martin.
Any card.
Any
helps.
card in the turn is gonna
Literally
improve me.
anything.
Anything in the turn is going to improve me.
Ah, there's
Instead
my
it's a 3, and Keating wins the first run out. Needs to dodge. Keating scoops.
Quite a few McLarens.
Keating's looking down on ace-queen offsuit. Peter comes along with ace-7 suited, a hand that plays fine multi-way but is easily dominated by Keating's calling range. Stanley takes the button with Jack-10, a classic position hand that realizes equity well against 3 opponents. Keating flats pre-flop with ace-queen from the small blind instead of squeezing. Out of position and deep, that call invites dominated aces and worse queens to continue while avoiding a bloated pot against a raiser who can 4-bet. The flop favors ranges that arrived by calling. Keating's ace-queen makes second pair with the best kicker and holds the key blocker to Broadway. His call versus the c-bet is standard. Raising turns his hand into a bluff catcher against stronger kings and sets while isolating himself versus better. Peter's call with ace-7 is thin but defensible. He has bottom pair, an overcard, and backdoor hearts, and he wants to keep his range uncapped for later streets. Stanley's call with Jack-10 is mandatory. He has the best improvement potential with the open-ender and position. The turn ace changes the incentive structure completely. Keating now holds aces and queens, and, out of position in a multi-way pot, checking is superior. Betting announces strength, repels worse, and makes it easy for a better ace like ace-king to play perfectly against him. By checking, he allows weaker aces and floats to fire or showdown worse. Peter quietly improves to 2-pair, and he should notice how clean his value targets are, aces that didn't connect with the king or queen, plus stubborn kings that hate folding. But checking has logic too. He controls the pot and traffic and preserves bluffs for the river. Stanley's check is the costly one. With Jack-10, he owns the nuts on a paired board that still grants him clear value from top pairs and combo draws. Letting it check through surrenders value and protection, and it exposes him to exactly what happens next. The board pairs again, and his straight gets stone dead. The river double pairs the ace and reorders the hierarchy. Keating upgrades to aces full of queens, Peter lands on aces full of sevens, and Stanley is drawing thin to chatter.
And this is going to get very nasty for Peter. Maybe Stanley also, but especially Peter.
Checks from Keating and the original raiser are invitations. Peter accepts with a big bet that targets trip aces and missed draws and tries to dodge raises from the few better full houses. Stanley correctly folds once the ace pairs again, straights or dust. Keating's river decision should lean exploitative here. Against Peter, who routinely overplays strong one-pair and boat combos, a value raise prince. Keating's hand is under-repped. He blocks the most common equal boat with the queen. Peter's turn check makes ace-king less likely, and Texas Mike is capped after check-check.
Did he just call? He just called.